Al Jazeera published an article titled, "Who are the Palestinian captives Israel released?" In their article, they criticize Israel, but they don't actually write who these Palestinians are. Since I'm a good person, and even though I'm a bit sick, I decided to help Al Jazeera. They are having trouble telling the truth, and I'm here to help. Let's begin. Israel will release Musa Tsufan, who murdered his mother because she married a Jew. Nabil Abu Hader, who murdered his sister because he suspected she worked for Israel, will be released as well. By the way, Sinwar, the Hamas leader who led the October 7th massacre, also sat in an Israeli prison. For what? For murdering Palestinians, political opponents, people he thought collaborated with Israel, or even someone who just looked at photos of naked women. His nickname among Palestinians was the Butcher of Khan Yunis. These are the Palestinian heroes. Let's continue. The list is long. Ibrahim Alkam, the murderer of the Sur family in 1996, will be released. He fired 40 bullets at the mother and her son. Jihad Aziz Rahoum, who kidnapped the 18-year-old Yuri Gushkin, will be released. Yuri worked in construction in Jerusalem with a group of Arabs. He thought they were his friends, so when they invited him to Ramallah, he agreed. Then one of them, Jihad, tortured him and murdered him. Ahmed Mahmoud will also be released. He followed two Israeli hikers in Wadi Kelt, Chagit and Liat, and then stabbed them to death. Raed Sheikh, a Palestinian policeman who participated in the lynching in Ramallah, will be released. Among the thousands of Arab terror attacks against Israelis and Jews in the land of Israel over the past 170 years, there are two events that have shaped my worldview more than anything else. The first is the massacre of the Jews in Hebron in 1929. It happened long before the so-called occupation and before the State of Israel even existed. Jews had lived in Hebron for hundreds of years, maintaining good relationships with their Arab neighbors. Some were doctors who treated Arabs for decades. Yet in 1929, the Arabs simply murdered and wiped out the Jewish community with unimaginable cruelty. I will leave a link below for those who want to read more about it. The Jews of Hebron weren't Zionists. They weren't Europeans. They weren't colonialists. They were religious Jews who had lived in Hebron for centuries. And still, the Arabs destroyed their community. The second event is the Ramallah lynching. Two Israeli reservists accidentally drove into Ramallah. They were taken to the police station, where Palestinian policemen and a mob stormed in and beat them to death. Raed Sheikh, who is being released now, was one of those policemen. The most infamous image from the lynching is one of the participants holding his blood-soaked hands out of the window while the cheering crowd roared beneath him. This event matters because the media often tries to portray terrorists as lone wolves, extremists, or mentally ill individuals, just like they do when attacks happen in London or Paris. But that's not true. The killers and those cheering outside were ordinary Palestinians on the street. This excites them. They support it. They love it. The terrorists are their heroes. One more interesting thing that happened there is that Ramallah has quite a few foreign journalists, and they filmed it. Some of the Palestinians saw they were being filmed, threatened them, and smashed the reporters' equipment. Still, some photos were published. I will leave a link below about the incidents. This is very important because Israel is a democratic country where reporters can interview Israelis who criticize the government. But on the other side, there is no freedom of speech. Think about that. How many reports have you seen from Gaza in the last 2 years? About 1.5 million, right? And have you seen Gazans speaking out against Hamas? No, because if they do, they will be killed. And the foreign press cooperates with that. Any Arab who murders Israelis, children, women, men, his family gets paid for it. The more Israelis you kill, the more money your family receives. I could go on and on. hundreds of Arabs who murdered Israelis in terror attacks, stabbing. Below this video, I will include a link to the list of terrorists Israel was forced to release to bring back 20 hostages, Israelis kidnapped from their homes or a party, and a few soldiers. So first of all, Al Jazeera, you need to change your headlines. The headline is very important because most people never read the details. Instead of who are the Palestinian captives Israel released, change it to who are the Palestinian terrorists Israel released. And beside that, you can use some of the examples I gave here. Tell your readers who these so-called Palestinian heroes really are. And if you don't want to work too hard, just interview me. Ask your boss, the Emir of Qatar, the Islamist dictator Tamim bin Hamad, and if he approves, I'm ready. By the way, if you go now to Al Jazeera's website or their channels, you won't see a single word about the Israelis who were released. Al Jazeera dehumanizes Israelis. There are always at least 3 anti-Israel headlines on their homepage. Their goal is to focus the conversation on Israel to distract global attention from what's happening in the Muslim world, from Yemen or Syria, where hundreds of thousands are being slaughtered, or from the persecution of Christians in African countries. It's horrific what's happening there, but you will never hear about it on Al Jazeera. By the way, my next video will be about Patrick Bet-David's recent video, a very important one about the murder of Christians in Nigeria. In that video, Bet-David says we need to stop the media's obsession with Ukraine and Israel and talk about the truly horrific things happening around the world. So please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video. And please share my videos. I'm just a low-level Mossad agent fighting against the billions-dollar empire Qatar built to poison the West. Part of this war is exposing the evil and lies of the other side, like I'm doing here. But another equally important part is doing good. As I promised in my previous video, where I exposed the true leader of the Arabs in Palestine, the one Palestinian tried to hide, in every future video, I will remind you that if you want to do good, you can donate to Holocaust survivors in Israel. Many of them live in poverty, and your donation can help them live their final years with dignity. The link will be here below. See you in the next video. Yalla bye.